There is a skill that has been quietly exploding in the professional market, especially in the USA, over the last couple months and years. And no, it's not AI or content creation or ads. It's something totally different. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what it is, why it is growing so fast, and how it is directly responsible for the gap between six-figure entrepreneurs and professionals and seven-figure entrepreneurs and professionals. All of this is backed by science and data. I will share. So, 3 chapters. First chapter, I'll tell you exactly what the skill is. Second chapter, how and why professionals are learning it wrong and wasting years. And third chapter is why it will never be replaced by AI. Okay, now I probably already saw the channel name, but the skill is language. Language learning specifically. To be more specific, Spanish language learning. And just a quick heads up, I don't have any degree in this, but I have dived so deep into this and I'm so excruciatingly passionate about this topic that I've done and went through every rabbit hole that is on the internet and that is in real life, right? I've connected to some of the biggest language learning professionals, including my father, who's been teaching it for 35 plus years. Chapter number 1, why language learning is the skill blowing up right now and why it will get you to 7 figures. Alright, so the Spanish and Latin market is booming right now and exploding. Just in the past couple months, I think the Spanish market rose to $3 trillion GDP in the United States. Now just some evidence. Companies with multilingual employees see a 10 to 15% increase in revenue from new international markets. The US Hispanic market alone represents $3 trillion in buying power by 2026. Right now. A professional who speaks Spanish does not just communicate better, they access a market their monolingual competitors are structurally locked out. Bilingual MBA graduates earn 22% more at starting salary than monolingual MBA graduates, over a career that compounds into a 7-figure difference from a single skill. Alright, so that is the hard evidence. And just if you don't believe that, then bilingualism produces measurable growth in the hippocampus, in the cerebral cortex, confirmed by MRI scanning and the Swedish military, and it also shows growth in the anterior cingulate cortex, producing better decision-making, less stress, and overall better focus. That is exactly why I believe that this, and I know that, and it's evidence-packed, that Spanish is the new next large measure of success. And this isn't just like in the past, it's happening right now, this second. And just quickly, I built a 7 steps to Spanish foundation course. It's like a 7-day course where I talk about linguistics, language learning, how to learn Spanish, and specifically what techniques you can use, methods, and all that kind of cool stuff. It's in the description. You just click 2 buttons and it's full access to there. Yeah, it's super cool. I spent a lot of time on this and I think it's extremely valuable. Chapter number 2, why most professionals are learning this skill wrong. Let's talk about apps. Apps are optimized for engagement metrics, points, opening up chests, going on leaderboards, right? They're not optimized for the actual learning and expression and production process of learning Spanish. There's this illusion called the illusion of knowing by this guy named Roediger, and he pretty much found out that we can, when we recognize a language, and when we go into a study session and don't actually use the language but learn words, then it's not effective at all. And it's because it's not locked into long-term memory and there's no chunks connected with it. So instead, you want to learn languages connected with chunks and be able to recall and express the language and think in your own sentences, not by memorizing vocab lists. And that's why apps and other ways are bad. You feel like you're progressing, but you're actually just recognizing words and you can't actually employ them and deploy them correctly because you don't have enough retrieval pathways to connect them with different sentences. And the problem here is that professionals, they need conversation under pressure. Sales calls, clients, meetings, right? They need that under pressure. And that's why these apps, they just teach you words. They don't teach you how to actually connect them and structure them into repeatable chunks and phrases that you can use. It's passive, right? But you want to learn languages actively. You want to express them. So that is personally my thoughts and my ideas backed by research why I think they're learning it wrong. Now let's go into chapter number 3. Why AI will never replace a skill. Well, first we can start off that learning a language isn't just to know a bunch of words and to be able to communicate those words. It's emotional nuance. It's being able to communicate with somebody deeper and knowing about them, talking through their feelings and emotions and being able to really and genuinely connect with a person, with the language. If you just have a translator, it's just you're repeating words. And if you think about it, you really speak and communicate in images, right? So you have like these visuals in your head when, like if I say the blue elephant is walking, you're going to see in your mind a blue elephant is walking. You're going to see in your mind a blue elephant that's walking, right? So our mind is very visual. And when you have translators, then you don't really have a true connection to that person. I feel like in professional life, the true connection with the client, colleague, is where the magic really happens. And if we go into research and evidence, research by the British Council on Language Proficiency in Business Relationships confirms that trust, emotional nuance, and cultural subtext in native language communication cannot be replicated by translation tools. A client who is spoken to in their native language shares more information, makes decisions faster, and builds loyalty at higher rates. This is the same with sales calls and anything else. Fluency carries meaning and tone and culture and genuine respect for the person. If you learn a language and you speak with somebody, then they're going to respect you tremendously, and way more than you just speaking with them in English. It's not only just talking with them and translating words. It's the deeper respect and cultural understanding of that language. And especially if you want to travel to those countries, right? You're going to feel like you're at home. You're going to feel really like you're at home. And that's what I felt, right? So I went to Mexico first. And the trip sucked, right? I told everybody, yeah, I don't like Mexico. It's like I couldn't speak Spanish. I kind of got scammed. I got everything based on tourist prices. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to go back to Mexico. But then I had to go back to Mexico because I was part of a crypto company, past Dark Futures. I hated that job. And I had to learn Spanish because they were expanding to LATAM, specifically to Peru and Ecuador and Venezuela in that time. And so I had to learn Spanish, and I learned it. And in the end, I didn't go there, but I did learn Spanish in 5 months from like a A1 level to a B1, B2 level in 5-6 months. And then I came back to Mexico, and the trip was totally different. I absolutely loved it. And I'm actually going to live in Mexico, and I love it. And that's my goal for the future, is to live there. And if you do want to learn Spanish to like build a strong language learning foundation on how to learn and how to speak Spanish, click the link, 2 buttons, and you're going to be part of our community of other professionals learning Spanish. And there's lots of bonuses, guides, cool stuff there. Peace. See you. All the best. Bye.